buddies? What's going on, guys? It is your boy Jay Kraft back with another wonderful episode of Universe of Weirdos. How is everyone? I hope well. I hope you're surviving. We've almost made it, right? The cold period is almost over. The shittiest part of the year is almost over. We can feel summer on the horizon. We can feel it. And the Universe of Weirdos is about to come at you live from Indianapolis PopCon Friday, May 8th at 4 p.m. Indianapolis PopCon at the Indianapolis Convention Center. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to be doing an hour-long live show, a live Universe of Weirdos. Still planning everything out a little bit, but I'm thinking I might want to have like a live confession booth, or we can do, give me some terrible advice type of things, but gonna have some giveaways. I'm working on a little bit of Universe of Weirdos merch that I could be giving away to some folks at the live show, and of course some of our wonderful listeners that contribute to feedback and questions. I don't see any reason why I can't send you guys some stickers and stuff that I'm making. But what are we doing today? Well, I just feel like chilling, right? And I don't know about you, but when I chill, I like to hang out, listen to music, listen to some of my favorite old comedy like Ron and Fez. And we've done it before on this show, the Ron and Fez Replay. We did it around Christmas time, and we're on our road to WrestleMania, so we need to do some sort of wrestling specials, so why not bust out a second Ron and Fez Replay, make it a little bit wrestling related. I know it sounds kind of weird for a radio show to be wrestling related when I'm reacting to it, but Ron and Fez, they had some roots in wrestling. Basically, the whole show was considered somewhat pro wrestling. You never knew what was a work, what was, a shoot, what was a bit, what wasn't, like who was in on what. Ron and Fez was a whole big show that I loved quite a bit, and there was a lot of intricacies to it, and there was a lot of characters that each person played every now and then, and they had their reoccurring bits, and one of their biggest reoccurring bits was Fez Whatley doing his impression of the Nature Boy. Now, for a lot of you, you may know that Ron and Fez is my biggest broadcasting influence as far as radio goes. You can find you can find me listening to Mike Fingers' Ron and Fez stream on YouTube any given day where I'm working and I need something playing in the background and I don't feel like listening to music. I throw on Ron and Fez, Mike Fingers on YouTube, watch his live streams. You can see me in the comments section a lot of times as well. So whatever. But my history with Ron and Fez was kind of weird. Like I was originally a really big Opie and Anthony fan, which, a lot of people who like comedy radio were big. They were either Howard Stern or Opie and Anthony fans, I feel like. And I was in the O&A camp. And every now and then you would hear, because like I lived in Indianapolis, so I didn't get the chance to listen to their terrestrial radio stuff unless I was going on certain websites, let's just say. They don't exist anymore, so I actually can't even, like radio something or another .com, and I don't remember, but there's all kinds of places where you could go and stream other cities' radio shows, and I liked doing that because here in Indianapolis we had the Bob and Tom show, which is fucking god awful in my opinion, borderline unlistenable. It's just, they bring on comics, they have comics do their on-stage bits and then fake laugh over it for however long. It is terrible. But I discovered Ron and Fez when Opie and Anthony came to XM Radio, and I got one of those MiFis. It's like a little iPod basically that played XM Radio. You could walk around and listen to the stuff. And then eventually Ron and Fez debuted on Opie and Anthony, which I would hear them every now and then. They would do these crossover shows on Opie and Anthony, and I would hear Ron and Fez on the Opie and Anthony show. And I was like, I like these guys. I want to be able to check them out. And then when they came to XM Radio, I was finally able to check them out. And I kind of knew I was going to be hooked from the very beginning, because this is the very beginning of their very first XM Radio broadcast. This is my first exposure to a full-length episode of Ron and Fez, and this is how it starts. And it's really hard to not get pumped when you hear a radio show start like this. And this is your very first exposure to it. That ominous tone. What am I going to expect here? What's going on? Wait a second. Is that the Ric Flair music? Huh. This might be an interesting radio show.
Listen up! This is the Nature Boy! And there are those rare moments in life when the fates are kind, when the gods smile upon you, and the universe is in perfect alignment, and those are the moments when you make history. Moments like the 1969 moon landing, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team Miracle on Ice, and the 1976 Battle of the Network Stars when a long shot named Gabe Kaplan gave ABC an unprecedented victory over a chump named Robert Conrad.
Hey, shout out Gabe Kaplan.
And now, history is about to be rewritten once again. Woo!
Woo!
In a place where the elite gather, a place more exclusive than Augusta, a place where we are the very best at what we do. Why? Because we dare to be. Woo! I'm talking about XM Satellite Radio Channel 202, where we drink a little harder, we dress a little better, live a little longer, and we party all night long. Woo! Woo! And where the four horsemen ride again. Fathers, fear for your daughters, because the band is fucking back together. Woo! I'm talking high voltage, where it's Armani suits, Rolex watches, and embarrassingly long stretch limousines. We're the Run and Fest Show, where the champagne cocktails flow, and we get paid in diamonds. And now, guys, put down the sandwich, move a little closer to your receiver, and learn something. And ladies, forget about your ham and egger husbands and boyfriends for a few hours and get ready to ride Space Mountain. Woo! Woo! Because this is the most happening thing right now on the face of God's green earth. I swear it. We are XM Satellite Radio. We are High Voltage Channel 202. We are the Opie and Anthony Show. We are Jimmy Norton with the sweet, dizzy smell of success. We're the badass Rob Bennington, the Road Dog Fez Marie, and I am the Nature Boy. Woo! And you may not like it, but you will learn to what?
Love it.
Why? Bottom line, because we are the best thing going today. Woo!
Woo! Woo! So yeah, there you go. That was my very first exposure to Ron and Fez, their very first XM radio broadcast. That is their opener, and then it goes into their, their regular intro. And I'm not gonna play all of that because I don't know what kind of copywritten music might be in that, and I might get in trouble. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, Fez liked to come in doing the Nature Boy, and that was always a fun moment. Whenever there was something in the news that, was a little bit off kilter, a little bit making some headlines that maybe rubbed Fez a little bit the wrong way, he'd bust out a Nature Boy. And one of my favorite Nature Boys of all time was, I don't know if you guys remember Travis the Chimp, but this is something me and my wife have listened to the 911 call, and it almost sounds fake because it sounds like a fake chimp sound effect in the background and shit. Whereas some lady owned a chimp and she used to like basically feed it Xanax and steak and like wine and shit. Like she just used to get the monkey all fucked up. And then one day she was hanging out with the monkey and her friend, and the monkey just hauled off and started eating her friend's face. And so she called 911. Hey, you guys got to come and get this fucking chimp off of my friend because he's eating her face. And well, that ended up making a lot of headlines at the time, and it was something that a lot of people felt was worthy talking about, especially Ron and Fez. So,
what is the latest on this?
That is Ron Bennington.
Stupid lady in the chimpanzee story, Fez.
Now the woman who owned the chimp is trying to let everyone know how much the chimp meant to her.
Who cares?
She's really giving the personal story of how they shared a bed at night.
Here's what I love. She spends her time now. She's come out saying, I never gave the monkey Xanax. Now, at what point should a human being ever have to make the statement, I gave the monkey surf and turf, I gave the monkey wine, my hand to God, I did not give that crazy monkey Xanax. Apparently, you should have gave her a lot more Xanax. So the backstory is this, Fezzy. A woman, she raises a monkey like he was a person. He gets all fucked up with her. He has a good time. His life is pretty nice.
Popping pills, man. That's got to be nice.
And then he...
Do you get cigars?
He goes crazy one day and he tears off the neighbor's face.
Yeah. Supposedly a friend of the owner's, and she had to stab him to try to get him off of the woman. And
here's another case where she should have been a gun owner. Just imagine if she would have had a handgun at home. The woman would have been fine.
Yeah, she would have gotten the monkey off the other woman's back, that's for sure.
A little joke you had there, monkey in the back?
Yeah.
So we do that rather than converse. We force feed. So at this time, no charges against her, right? For this monkey?
Yeah, no charges so far.
I think it ended up being a civil
I think it's
suit.
about time to drop it. I mean, quite honestly, I feel bad for the woman. She had a, a monkey. It didn't... a little smoky in here.
Smoky in there.
Somebody's in that smoke. It's a nature boy!
Listen up! This the Nature Boy! Woo! And every now and then, in the big scheme of things, in the grand plan of the universe, in the evolutionary design, corrections have to be made, and a species has to be taken down a notch. Woo! And I'm talking about you, Travis the Chimp. First of all, let me say, Travis, I'm the Nature Boy. Woo! And I liked your style. You were dining on filet mignon and lobster. You were sleeping in a big brass bed. You were drinking red wine and popping Xanax like you were Courtney Love. Woo! You were living a life only a few of us know about, and I'm talking about the good life. Woo!
A lot of woos in this one.
I was with you, brother, because I drive the biggest car to the biggest house in the biggest part of town. Woo! And that's each and every day of my life. But that's where you made your mistake, my hairy friend. That wasn't good enough for you. The booze and prescription drugs just weren't enough, huh, big man? You had to have more. The lobster wasn't enough, so you had to eat a woman's face. That's where we draw the line, Chimpy. Woo! This is where we step in and say, you know what, Travis the Chimp? You may party like a horseman, you may live like a horseman, but you are no horseman. Woo!
Yeah, Travis the Chimp, you're no horseman.
Sure. Once I slapped Mary Hart in a chicken wing crossface for changing her hairstyle, but I never ate a woman's eyeballs. I am too classy for that. Woo!
It's a matter of class.
That's why you had to be taken out, Travis. There's a food chain on this planet, and you are not at the top. Sure, some of you apes had some big wins. Every now and then, you grab a pretty blonde and climb a building. But what happens after that? It ain't pretty, is it? Woo! And maybe an orangutan could get lucky and make a Clint Eastwood movie. Or a chimp could go to live with Michael Jackson on Neverland Ranch. But then, nature makes a correction. Woo! Or should I say, the nature boy makes a correction. Woo! Sorry, Chip, but you are near the bottom of the chain, just above mimes. Then, at the top, you've got humans. And just above that, you've got us. The badass Ron Bennington. Woo! The road dog Fez Replay. Woo! And me, the nature boy. Woo! And we're not giving up our spot. Not for you, not for anyone, man or monkey, no way! Woo! So, you may not like it, but you had better learn to what?
Love it!
Why? Bottom line, because we are
The best thing going today!
Woo!
And then there, all kinds of woos. Lots of woos going off in that. There's a lot of woos in that one. But, that one's one of my favorite nature boys, Travis the Chimp. And, of course, I'm going to go out on one of the more fan favorites, I think. I think my personal favorite is the very first XM radio broadcast, because for me, that really set the tone for what to expect from the Ron and Fez show. But this one's one of my favorites, is the Nature Boy takes on Canada. So let's see what's going on here.
Hey, Ron. As a Canadian, we followed you guys militarily into Afghanistan, and we're still there losing soldiers because we thought that was right. But when you guys went to Iraq, we didn't go. And most Canadians thought that was the jumping off place, like that you guys got suckered into it by your government, and we didn't have the passion that you did to do that. And right after you guys went into Iraq, like polls in Canada were like, no one thought there was.
Who cares about?
And
there was plenty of us here in
of
the
American
States
politics.
who thought it was a bad idea, and still think it's a bad idea. So again, the same shit that everyone gets upset with is about. We get upset with ourselves, but overall, I think the people are good people. Mark in Colorado, you're a manifest.
Well, I was like.
Now, I know that they're kind of setting up this bit, but that's one thing I've never understood as an American. When people are like, well, fucking Ireland disagrees with our stance on what, and it's like, well, what does that have to do with us, at all? Hey, the America's going to war with this country, and England doesn't seem to agree with it, and it's like, well, we're not asking them to go, so I don't. I'm not a very political person, so I don't have these I agree with these people, I disagree with these people type of things, but I've always just found it kind of weird that it was Canada disagrees with our decision to go to war, and it's like, well, they don't have to come with us. So, I don't know, but then again, like I said, they're setting up a bit here.
Of any
they're setting up the nature boy.
100% altruistic. That's just completely silly. And number two, what do we care what Canada thinks anyways? I like to call them America light.
Oh, come on. Canada is a terrific country, and they are our brothers and sisters of the world. If anybody...
I do like Canada.
Is it smoking here?
But get ready for the Nature Boy to tear them apart.
Hey, it's the Nature Boy!
I love Toronto, love Vancouver.
Listen up! This is the Nature Boy! Woo! Woo! And now, our pathetic little neighbors to the north feel like they can't trust us. Well, I'm the Nature Boy! Woo! And I'm here to calm your fears and ease your tensions. First of all, Canada, this is how you know you can trust the United States of America. Because you're not already part of the United States of America. Woo! Woo! If you couldn't trust us, your name wouldn't be Canada anymore. It would be even further North Dakota. Woo! Woo! If we had the slightest interest in you, your money wouldn't have the Queen's picture on it. It would have Washington's, Lincoln's, Jackson. Wait a minute. No one in your country would have a denomination higher than Lincoln. Whoa! Woo!
Damn.
Canada, the last thing you want to do is end up on our to-do list. We already took hockey from you. Woo! Woo! We took William Shatner. Woo! Woo! And we took your most precious resource, Pam Anderson's big fake tits. Woo! Woo! How easy would it be to take the whole thing if we wanted? So keep running your mouth, you nothing happening ice cube of a country. Woo! Woo! If it wasn't for us, Russia would have already set up branch offices in Calgary, Toronto, and Quebec. Woo! Woo! You think you can't trust us? Just being neighbors with you, it's bringing down the property values in North America. We're the ones who should be complaining. Woo! Woo! In fact, now that I think about it, maybe you've got the right idea, Canada. Maybe you should watch your step around the USA. Woo! Woo! Because you never know when there might be a day when we get bored. Maybe the Sunday after the Super Bowl when nothing's going on. And we decide to expand our borders, and you wouldn't even realize it, that we had taken over until you're singing the Star-Spangled Banner on the 4th of July while holding a sparkler in your mitten. Woo! Woo! We're the United States of America. And Canada, what you ought to do is get down on your knees and say thank you. Because of all the places on God's great earth that you could have ended up, you're right here next to us in the shadow and the comforting shoulder of the United States of America. Woo! Woo! You get to stand right there on the sideline and watch as we walk that aisle. Woo! Woo! Being the top dog on this planet. Woo! You're third world at best, Canada. Enjoy the view of the promised land. And know that you are dealing with the absolute best. We're the badass Rob Bennington. Woo! Woo! We're the road dog Fez Whatley. Woo! Woo! I am the nature boy. Woo! Woo! And we are America. And you may not like it, but you will learn
Come on, everybody.
What?
Love it. Love it.
Why? Bottom line, because we are the best thing going today! Woo!
So there you go. A couple nature boys for you on our road to WrestleMania. A little Ron and Fez replay. I love the energy that Fez Whatley brought to the Ron and Fez show, but unfortunately, he started kind of like unraveling mentally towards the end of the Ron and Fez show. Like he had a lot of like really heavy depression issues, a lot of really heavy anxiety issues. There were whole shows where he would go like the entire show without saying anything. So there were a lot of times where it was really hard to listen to the Ron and Fez show there towards the end. But I mean, eventually, you know, Fez retired and went back to Florida. He did eventually pass away because the guy had so many heart attacks. He had like 3 heart attacks while he was on XM radio, and then I think maybe even an additional one after he retired, and it just didn't work out too well for Fez Whatley health-wise. And he did pass away, which is really unfortunate. But hey, we have endless amounts of Ron and Fez clips that we can listen to remember the big cat Fez Whatley, the nature boy. Woo! You just find them. Hey Buddies, that's a YouTube channel. Disco Dog, Mike Fingers. There's all kinds of Ron and Fez clips out there that are amazing to listen to. Some really, really long ones that I will never get into on our little Ron and Fez replays, but certainly some great other bits that I do plan on playing on here at some point and reacting to. Some good thing, river napping, Fez's rape joke. There's all kinds of really good stuff that I could play on here and react to that would make for a really great Ron and Fez replay episode. And I don't know, I hope that you guys seek them out a little bit. I really like the Ron and Fez show. That was my favorite show ever. Ron Bennington is still on the radio. He is still on Sirius XM. He does the Unmasked interview show, and he also does Bennington, which is his own talk radio show, kind of a hangover from Ron and Fez, where they have their old producer, Chris Stanley, and Ron is joined by his daughter, Gail. So it's all right. I mean, it's not my favorite. I definitely preferred listening to Ron and Fez over just Bennington, but you know, what are you going to do? I love the Ron and Fez show. I know this was kind of lazy. I know that this episode was a little bit lazy, but you know what? It's what I wanted to fucking do. So whatever. It's genuinely, this was the episode that I wanted to do. I've actually been looking forward to this one ever since I had the ideas, because I was like, what can I do leading up to WrestleMania? That would be wrestling related. I know we got Wrestling with Criminals. I can react to some more promos, but hey, fucking Fez did the Nature Boy on Ron and Fez all the time. So let's do a Ron and Fez replay. Listen to some Nature Boy. I know it is a little bit lazy to just do those, play somebody else's show and then barely react to it type of things. But like I said, whatever. I'm being a little selfish. It's what I wanted to do. And I'm just spreading the love of the universe of weirdos. That's another whole separate universe. The Ron and Fez universe, and it's right there. It's our parallel universe of weirdos. So I don't feel too bad about it. Spreading the love of the Nature Boy. Well, that's it for me. You can find me on my socials. I am jcraft247 on Twitter. I am Universe of Weirdos on Instagram. You can listen to my other podcast, Planet W, a WNBA podcast with my brother Dan. It's all about the WNBA, women's basketball. How exciting. PlanetWNBA@gmail.com if you want to get any feedback or questions in. You can also DM me on any of those previously mentioned social medias. Also, be sure to like, share, subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, all of that good, positive, spreading the love type of stuff that you can do on your podcast platform, because I promise you that it helps. It helps with algorithms. It helps random people find the podcast when they're just searching random things. And it helps the show grow. And like I said, if you guys are in the Indianapolis area, May 8th, Friday, 4 p.m., Indianapolis PopCon. I will be there. I will be live. We will be walking that aisle on Indy PopCon. Woo! Maybe I'll open with a Nature Boy. I don't know. I definitely won't. But we're going to have guests. We're going to have audience interaction. We're going to have a whole lot of live weirdness, and it's going to be fantastic. But I'll see you next time, guys. I have some other things planned, some stuff with my wife, a couple other solo type shows that we'll be bringing you in the coming week or so. We'll see you then. Peace. See ya.